Hey everyone, Professor Sweeter here, and I want to welcome you to week 2 of COM 105. I have to apologize, I'm a little bit late with my weekly video. I've been dealing with a sick kiddo for the past few days, which means no daycare, which means no childcare, which means I've been playing mommy as opposed to connecting with all of you. So I do appreciate your understanding with these past 2 days. What I'd like to do is take a few minutes and just go over some of the things you should be focusing on this week in class and share with you some information. Most of this information is coming from questions that I've fielded in the past few days. All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to go ahead and share with you our Blackboard page. Here we are. You can see in Blackboard, I'm on our main announcements page. And I do want to scroll down and let you know that just as we move through the entire semester, all announcements will stay here. So if you need to, you can go back and you can look at stuff that I posted, a couple weeks ahead of time. All right. Let's look at this week in communications. Week 1 was last week. Now we're into week 2, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it. We're looking at chapters 2 and 3 in our textbook. And in particular, we're looking at identity, and we're looking at cultural motivations. And I understand that these sometimes seem a little bit odd when you talk about communications, but I want you to understand that it's important for us as individuals to understand who we are. Where does our culture come from? What motivates us? Who are we as individuals? And then how do we use that background, that personal style or brand, if you will, to communicate with other people. And so once we understand ourselves, it's going to be easier moving forward to understand a lot of the other theories and topics that we're going to be talking about. All right, so this week we are doing 2 chapters in the textbook, as I said, chapters 2 and 3. And as we move through the rest of the semester, you're going to see that we tend to do 2 chapters a week. The only exception will be when we get to the midterm week, and then we'll drop down and we'll only do 1 chapter. And then again, the final week, we'll drop down and we'll only do 1 chapter. But most weeks we are doing 2 chapters. I'll scroll down. You've got some multimedia here. You've got some PowerPoints. There is a link to this week's discussion board, links to the chapter 2 and 3 quiz. And I do want to remind you, I'm not sure that I've been clear on this. Quizzes are things that I don't have control over, in the sense that I don't write the quizzes, I don't write the questions. And between you and me, I know that the quizzes tend to be very nitpicky and they focus a lot on vocabulary. So what that means is it's very, very common for you to read the quiz questions and be confused by the answers. And I don't want that to scare you. They are good questions. They're just not necessarily worded the way I would have worded them myself. So to alleviate that a little bit and to make your grade a little bit easier, I do offer multiple retakes on quizzes. All right. I don't care, that you didn't pass the quiz. I want you to keep taking it as many times as you need to get a 100. So quizzes are automatically set up for 3 retakes. If you need more than that, shoot me a text message and I will fix that for you so you have more retakes. Below that is the document submission, letter to your 12-year-old self. And I do want to highlight for you the 4 quadrants of the Johari window. That is something that you definitely need to relate back to in this assignment. And after I finish this video, I'm going to go ahead and edit this and throw in another picture of the Johari window for you. Below that is another first-person video activity. Last week we did Lucy and her family home on Thanksgiving break. And this week we are introduced to Cassie, and they never introduced the guy's name, but Cassie and her friend are visiting Mexico. And so you'll be analyzing that video and giving feedback. And below that, questions for the instructor and dive deeper. I've also spent some time looking at our course projects. So I'm going to navigate to the midterm project here. This is something that you should be focusing on this week. We are starting to look at the midterm. and I have added a few videos for you. So first of all, there's an intro video. It's about 13 minutes long. So I encourage you to take a look at that so you have a better understanding of what I'm looking for the midterm. Below that is a link to the printed version of the midterm project. When you click on that, it's going to open up for you, and you should be able to see it right now. This is the assignments. And go back to Blackboard. Scrolling down, I've given you a midterm thesis workshop, and that's going to help you craft the perfect thesis, which is due this weekend. All right. And I'll be honest with you, any topic is great. I'm less concerned that you have an interesting topic. I'm more concerned that you've got a strong thesis that you're going to be able to speak well to. Below that is information about the outline and then information about the presentation and the final outline. And please be aware, where these two videos have appeared today, there are more videos that are hidden that will appear after this Sunday and also after you submit the outline. Okay, so those are there for you as well. What else do I need to tell you about? There is a question that's come up a couple times this week that I think is really important to address with you. And that is the concern that you have submitted grades, or you've submitted assignments to me, but Blackboard is sending you these horrible messages that you didn't do the assignment. So here's the deal. We are working in 3 different programs with this class. And I realize that gets confusing to have so many different programs, but to be perfectly honest, in a communications class, and especially in an online format, what I found is by using MindTap, by using Flipgrid and Blackboard, you get a more rich experience. All right, Flipgrid, certainly you have the opportunity to see each other and to communicate with each other face to face. MindTap just has some phenomenal resources, and of course it complements our textbook beautifully. So I realize it's a lot of technology that you're balancing, but what that means is there are some snags when those technologies interact with each other. Simply put, our main technology is Blackboard. That is where most of the course is housed. That is where I do most of my work when I'm building courses and I'm editing courses, all right? When you do something in MindTap and also in Flipgrid, those assignments will not be marked as complete until I physically go in and grade them. All right, so MindTap in particular, I know several people have contacted me this week because they've gotten messages saying you didn't do any of your MindTap assignments last week. If you know that you've done them, you're all set. What is happening is Blackboard is waiting for me to grade them, and then those programs communicate to Blackboard. It doesn't go the other way around. It's a one-way communication. So those programs, MindTap and Flipgrid, are going to communicate to Blackboard, and they will say, hey, this has been graded, here's the grade. And then you'll see them populate in Blackboard, all right? Unfortunately, there is no way to turn that off and also to keep the other due dates that I have programmed into Blackboard there for you. So I realize it is an annoyance. I do appreciate you guys being patient with that. But please know that, like I said, if you know that you've completed those assignments, you've completed those assignments. Blackboard's just waiting for me to tell it by grading that you've completed those assignments. Okay. All right, my friends, that's it. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful sunny week. Now that I'm done with this video, I'm going to head outside with a laptop, of course, but I'm going to go enjoy some of the sun. So I hope you are too. Please remember, I am available to you. You can text me, you can email me, you can call me, we can do a Zoom call. But I look forward to seeing you more this week. Have a great week, everyone.